My name is Nasiru Salisu Zangu. I'm a journalist, a radio journalist from Freedom Radio in Kano. Freedom Radio is one of the pioneer private radio stations in northern Nigeria. It has been, So this is the overview of my organization. Freedom Radio Kano, licensed in 2002, became one of the pioneering private radio stations in northern Nigeria, as I said. It began broadcasting on December 1st, 2003, with its first station in Kano, the first station in Kano. And in 2007, the network expanded by launching Freedom Radio Dutse, the capital of Jigawa State. By 2011, additional license allowed the station to operate in more regions, resulting in the launch of Dala FM 88.5. Dala is another radio station under Freedom Radio Group. It's also in Kano. So in Kano, we have 2 radio stations. And Freedom Radio Kaduna in 92.9 in 2012, along with outlets in Sokoto and Maiduguri. We don't have radio stations in Sokoto and Maiduguri, but we have the license and we have outlet there. Freedom Radio has built a strong reputation through its independent, investigative journalism and compelling programming, dedicated to educating, entertaining, and informing its audience. With a mission to promote national unity and give a voice to the voiceless. This is our motto, voice of the voiceless in Hausa, Muryar Jama'a. The station adheres strictly to the Nigerian Constitution and media regulations. Today, with over 9.6 million listeners, Freedom Radio is the most widely listened to radio station in northern Nigeria. So now the experience in science communication. Science reporting in West Africa, especially in Nigeria, is fraught with challenges. Religious, social, and economic factors create significant barriers, making science communication a complex task. Topics such as genome editing, organ transplants, and cloning often face resistance, particularly from religious leaders, who sometimes view these advancements as attempts to alter God's creation. This is not only in Nigeria, I believe it's in so many places. So this opposition not only discouraged journalists from covering essential scientific developments, but also makes it difficult to effectively convey critical information to the public. Another problem, this is another challenge. A major challenge in science communication at Freedom Radio is translating complex scientific terms into indigenous languages, like Hausa, for instance, because Hausa is more popular in northern Nigeria. 98% of the people in northern Nigeria can speak Hausa. So these scientific concepts often lack direct equivalent in local languages, making it difficult to accurately convey the intended meaning. Even when translation is possible, ensuring that these concepts are understandable to listeners requires creativity and collaboration with language experts. And even with the local experts, sometimes we are facing another problem from the academia. The university, especially Bayero universities, are giving us some hitches because their translation is different from what should be used with with the audience, because their translation is academic translation. It's quite different from the translation that you will communicate to the layman or to the common man. For instance, when reporting on health issues, such as malaria prevention or the benefits of vaccination, finding words that are both scientifically accurate and easily comprehensible to the audience is a constant challenge. Okay, so this one is for scientists. Finding words that are both scientifically accurate and easily comprehensible to the audience is a constant challenge, leading to occasional hiccups in the communication. Sorry. There is also another problem of resistance from religious leaders. Resistance from religious leaders presents another significant challenge in science communication at Freedom Radio and almost everywhere in Nigeria. In northern Nigeria, as in the other parts of the West Africa, religious leaders wield considerable influence over their followers. We all know this. Sometimes when you want to do something, you have to contact them. Maybe sometimes you have to motivate them, then your agenda will go. Communicating this effectively becomes challenging. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, some religious leaders discouraged their followers from getting vaccinated. We all know this. And creating substantial barriers to public health initiatives. Addressing this resistance requires careful negotiation and dialogue to align religious beliefs with scientific understanding. There is also issue of skepticism towards GMOs. I have made an observation and question on this particular issue. Freedom Radio also faces widespread skepticism towards genetically modified products among its audience. Many people in northern Nigeria believe that GM foods are harmful to human health and view them as an alteration of God's creation. This skepticism is deeply rooted in both religious and cultural perspectives, making it a significant hurdle to overcome. For instance, when reporting on agricultural advancements like drought-resistant crops developed through genetic modification, Freedom Radio often encounters backlash from the community. Many listeners express fear and distrust, influenced by misinformation, especially with the proliferation of social media. It has also contributed toward this. And also negative perceptions spread by those opposed to these innovations without fully understanding the science behind them. So we have problem with so many educated, ignorant people. They are educated, but they don't know what is this, the example we are citing during the DG was making a comment that an architect is an educated person, but will comment on agriculture. So he's educated but ignorant in the other hand. So historical context, there are so many historical context, some incidents that happened and they are still lingering in the mind of people. So they are also giving problem to the science communication. Freedom Radio's efforts in science communication are further complicated by historical incidents that have fueled mistrust in Western health interventions. So whenever there is anything Western or American, they will just feel it like it's just a calculated attempt to maybe decimate the population of Muslim or the population of that or this or that. So there are still these misconceptions. So one such incident is the popular Pfizer drug trials during a meningitis outbreak in Kano in 1996. Hopkins and Pfizer came to Kano in 1996, and they used the advantage of the outbreak of meningitis So they introduced their drug through ban. And at this time, many people died, and many people, many children that are now adults are still living with permanent deformity as a result of that trial. So the trial of the experimental drug through ban sparked controversy due to the ethical shortcomings, leading to a 75 million out-of-court settlement between Kano State government and the provider. They paid the money. Unfortunately, the money did not reach the victims. Most of the victims are still complaining that they did not receive anything. So this event continued to influence conspiracy theories and mistrust in Western medicine. Not only medicine and all other scientific development from the West. Another significant event was the polio vaccine controversy, where the polio eradication campaign faced severe resistance in northern Nigeria, because at that time there was misinformation that the vaccine is also created to wipe out the population of Muslims in the world. So that is why they are targeting a Muslim state. Even though we all know that it is not only in northern Nigeria, it is all over the country. But there are just a group of people who are using this advantage just to spread their lies. So another significant event was the polio vaccine controversy, where the polio eradication campaign faced severe resistance in northern Nigeria, driven by, oh my God, religion. Driven by religious beliefs and rumors of vaccine contamination, religious leaders declared the vaccine a Western plot, leading to a widespread boycott. That it is just a Western plot to wipe the population of Muslims. So it wasn't until 2007, after significant effort to align religious beliefs with scientific understanding, that the campaign gained acceptance, especially in northern Nigeria, where Muslims are more dominant in the area. So this issue will surprise you if I tell you that among the people that are vehemently against polio vaccine at that time in Kano, there was a professor. I think he's still alive, and unfortunately for him, his two children has polio. Yes. So many people, when you go to Kano, you can do a research on this. It's very important. So I don't know whether he's alive, and he's also scientific. Yes, he's a scientist, a professor, professor. He's not journalist. Yes, so this in 2007, they had a group of people from religious leaders, from different stakeholders, has to travel to Egypt and see how, Egypt is selected because it is Muslim-dominated country. So they have to travel to Egypt and see for themselves that polio is also being used in Egypt. Then in 2007, the problem has been resolved. And even during Boko Haram insurgency in Kano, some polio officials, 7 of them were killed when they were working house by house for the polio vaccine. So they died instantly. So this is after significant effort to align religious beliefs with scientific understanding that the campaign gained acceptance after this Egypt trip. So what are the strategies to overcome these challenges? To overcome these challenges, Freedom Radio employs several strategies. First, The station engaged with community leaders, including religious figures, to enhance a better understanding of scientific issues by involving them into the conversation. Freedom Radio often finds common ground that promotes the acceptance of scientific knowledge. Second, the station uses simplified language and relatable analogies to explain scientific concepts. Collaborating with our local language experts and educators helps develop accurate and understandable translations of scientific terms. Third, Freedom Radio hosts interactive programs where listeners can call in with questions and concerns. This approach not only provides immediate clarification, but also builds trust and rapport with the audience. Finally, the station addresses misconceptions about genetically modified products by providing clear evidence-based information. Freedom Radio highlights the benefits and safety of these innovations while respectively addressing ethical and religious concerns. So despite the challenges, Freedom Radio has seen several positive outcomes from its science communication efforts. Increased awareness and understanding of science-related issues among the general public have been observed. More people are beginning to see the relevance of scientific knowledge in their daily lives, from health to agriculture. For example, through persistent efforts and engaging storytelling, Freedom Radio has managed to increase the acceptance of family planning methods in some communities. This demonstrates a significant shift in mindset towards scientifically backed health practices. I can tell you that before we start operation as Freedom Radio, it's a taboo to even discuss the issue of family planning. It's a taboo. You cannot, no matter how much you can pay to advertise family planning method, you will not be accepted because there may be a problem. But now you can easily discuss anything scientific, especially that we are now engaging the religious leaders. We have most of them, some of them are understanding. So you can even invite them to discuss about any scientific advancement. So with this, we are very grateful to God. Huh? Sorry? Okay. Oh, sorry. So challenges in science communication. So let me just pass this recommendation. Should I go with this in 1 second? Okay, thank you. Moving forward, Freedom Radio recommends several strategies to enhance science communication. First, the station should continue engaging with community and religious leaders to build trust and understanding of scientific issues. This engagement is crucial in overcoming resistance and promoting acceptance. Second, further efforts should be made to simplify scientific language and make it more accessible to the general public. This includes ongoing collaboration with language experts and educators. Third, the expansion of interactive programs is recommended to provide more opportunities for the audience to ask questions and receive accurate information. Finally, Freedom Radio should persist in addressing misconceptions with sensitivity and evidence-based information, working to build trust and a better understanding of scientific advancement. So let me just thank you.